Hi there, I'm Michael Hill with Canine Chronicle TV, and I'm here with David Stout, and we're going to talk about the life lessons that he learned through his start in junior showmanship. How are you, David?
I'm great. Thank you for having me.
Awesome, welcome. So let's start with how you first got into juniors.
It started, it's kind of interesting. My mom always showed Rottweilers when I was a kid, and I always grew up with dogs. We always constantly had dogs from the moment I was born. She showed in confirmation, Rottweilers in confirmation, and she had a Doberman that she competed in obedience. Actually, she was part of an obedience team that competed at the Dokoff trials here in Florida. And dog shows really weren't, something I was, interested in until I was about 10. And then all of a sudden, for whatever reason, I went with her to one of our local dog shows here in Jacksonville, and something just clicked. And we were coming home, and I said, "That's what I want to do." And she was surprised. So we had some friends here in town that ran handling classes. So got started doing that, and then started in junior showmanship at 10. So
What was your first breed?
let's said I grew up in Rottweilers, but my first breed that I actually showed in juniors was a golden retriever. It was owned by the lady who ran the classes. Her name was June Wade, and her husband Bob were professional handlers, kind of like the weekend warrior kind of thing back in the day. And believe it or not, when I was 10, I wasn't very big, tall, or anything like that. So, and also back in the early 90s, my mom was like, "I really don't want you to show a Rottweiler in juniors because of
Sure.
like the stigma," which it's kind of seems weird nowadays, but back then it definitely had it. So we're like, we'll just do a golden retriever. So I started with that and got my novice wins with a golden, and I tried other breeds like a dachshund and a smooth fox terrier. We even uh, rescued a greyhound from the Greater Orange Park dog track here, and I showed her in juniors for a little while. And it wasn't until I was a lot older and got into the open senior class that I finally started with Rottweiler. And even then, I started with a small female first before I ended up with my bigger male there at the end. So
Who were some of the people who were influential, like aside from your mother, of course, in teaching you how to compete in juniors?
Well, like I said, June was great. Like we had the handling classes that she would host, at the whatever empty parking lot, behind, a store or whatever. And then I did private lessons at her house because she lived just right around the corner from her house. And,
Mm.
she was the very first person that said, "You're going to stack your dog in front of a mirror." And,
Mm.
so now it's like, and now all these years later, like you trim in front of a mirror, you stack in front of a mirror. And
Yeah,
back then that is like, that was like, you just never heard of
groundbreaking.
that. Right. So, and it's like, quick things like, you should not have to touch all 4 feet. You should only have to, at 2 at the most. And she taught me anatomy and stuff like that. She had, which I think is very important too. And but the professional handlers in the area at the time, like I always clamored to, like whenever I got done showing, I would always run and try to just help anyone that I
Mm.
could, just to either just be by the ring or just help. And Larry Cornelius and Davin McAteer at the time, I helped them out quite a bit. And Kay Pallade, um, I helped her out quite a bit, growing up over the years. And so I was fortunate to have some really good, professional handlers to, kind of like be a sponge and learn from
Sure.
in this area. So,
And at a young age, was it, what was that experience like, kind of learning to be competitive and committed to something, that's probably more involved than the average
oh, yeah,
preteen
absolutely.
teenager
Yeah.
would do?
Right. Yeah, absolutely. So, back then, especially for me, I wasn't the most outgoing person at that time. I've obviously have, changed, but, I was very shy and reserved back then. So it felt, great confidence and stuff like that. And, and competing in juniors, gives you a good, self-respect as far as like, you take the wins with the losses. And, and in the beginning, I took a lot of losses, so it taught you to be real humbling, be real humble. And it was just a great, learning experience, and be around the dogs and learn proper care, for the dogs. And so, I mean, it was a wonderful teaching tool growing up, just to learn good, like just basic animal husbandry, growing up, which I
Sure.
think is very important, that I think is lost even now as
That
older people get in.
responsibility and
Yeah,
care.
right,
Yeah.
exactly. People don't realize that the time that you're in the ring is only a very small fraction what this whole either business or hobby entails,
Sure. It's never ending, even if you're not
Oh
being a
no,
professional
no,
handler,
there
but
is no
just for
such
2
thing as a
years with
day
your
off
dog.
when you have dogs. No, there's no such thing. You may have a day off from actually attending a dog show, but there is no such thing as a day off. There's
Has that
always
prepared
something to
you
be done.
for fatherhood?
Huh?
Has that prepared you for fatherhood?
Oh, I don't think anything prepares me for fatherhood, but yeah, no, that has been quite, a blessing and a joy. And he was ready to join us. He came a month early while we were at the Newcastle Dog Show.
I
So
was
he's
there.
he's a little over 7 weeks old now. And just this past weekend in West Palm Beach, he attended his first dog show and he did great. So yeah, so
He was a good luck charm, I
he
heard.
was a good luck charm. Yeah. We did very well. So, we always joke, he won 8 best in shows on the Gordon in utero, and now he's won 1 out of utero. So
Pretty good start.
yeah. So he's an accomplished handler already.
So as he grows up, when he might have interest in getting into juniors, or just anyone else that you would come in contact with, is there any kind of advice or feedback you would give based on your experience on how to make the most of that experience, even if you're not looking to be a professional handler, but just for personal growth?
Yeah, no, I mean, I don't think you have to be a professional handler to be, to personally grow. I mean, I think there's a lot of wonderful, breeder owner handlers out there that, have what we call, a real life, outside, and I mean, I just think it's just a great like camaraderie and just another sense of family. Like I'm an only child. Kristen has one brother. And then who knows what the future holds for him. We're hoping for more, but I just think it's to have a sense of just, camaraderie and just family. And it is a wonderful family sport. So, and it builds good, character and, to be humble, to be gracious, and to be competitive. There's nothing wrong with being competitive in life. So, I mean, you should set goals and to try to attain them. So, you have your very long-term goal and then short little intermediate goals leading up to that, and strive to be successful. There's nothing wrong with that. Absolutely.
Yeah, I'd say that's a hugely important life skill.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah.
Definitely. Well, thank you so much, David, for your time and sharing your experience. It was so great catching up with you, and I'll let you get back to being a dad.
Yep. Another full-time job.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much.
Oh, thank you so much, Michael. I really appreciate it. All right.
You bet.